All right, well, without further ado, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Linda Sassi. I'm the Eastham Town Clerk, and this is Kendra Menard. She is the Assistant Town Clerk, and I want to thank you all for coming today. We're here to talk about elections and to talk about early voting in particular. I just wanted to try to kick things off and ask how many people in the room, just raise your hands, have voted by mail before. Great, great. So this should be pretty easy. We've only done a primary once by vote by mail. So what we're seeing in the postcards that are coming back is for the folks that have to pick a party, some of them are confused as to what that actually means. So the state tried to make it easier this year by sending out, if you're enrolled in a party, they're sending you out a postcard that says you're enrolled in X party, and that's what you see in the second piece of paper that I gave you. So if you're enrolled in the party, it says that you're enrolled in this party, and that's the ballot you're going to get. And all you have to do is check off which elections you want to receive ballots for. So if you're unenrolled, that's where it gets a little bit tricky, because you have to select which ballots you want and which elections you want. So what we've gotten in, I don't know, about 360 vote by mail cards so far, and 10% of those have come. We need to do more research and send more letters out to people and ask them what their choices are, because I mean, it only happens every couple of years that we have a primary, so, you know, it's different. So I wanted to go through that first. So as far as requesting your mail-in ballot, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. You fill out what you want, and that's the ballot we're going to send you.
And don't forget to sign it.
Yes.
A lot of people not signing the ballot.
Yeah.
Postcard.
That's a big one. So that's why it's in red, and it says sign here. So that hopefully brings it to people's attention. There's a box that has whether you want all elections. So if you check off that box, we're going to send you a ballot for all the elections that occur in 2024, including the local town election. If you don't want a ballot by mail for all of the elections, you can just check off, no, I don't care about primaries, I just want the ballot for November 5th. Check that off, we'll only send you a ballot November 5th. So if you are unenrolled, you need to tell us which ballot you want us to send you, because we don't guess. So we have to find out, okay, do you want a Democratic ballot, a Republican ballot, or a Libertarian ballot? It doesn't matter, you're not enrolled in a party, and there's about 60% of the residents of Eastham are not enrolled in a party, so you just have to pick. Once you pick that ballot, it doesn't revert you to that party. So if you chose, say, a Republican ballot, it doesn't make you a Republican. It just makes us send you a ballot for that party. On the other hand, if you have a ballot, if you are enrolled in a party, so if you turn to the next page, and it says, I want to vote by mail, and it's telling you that you're enrolled, say, in the Democratic Party. But you're thinking in your mind, well, I don't want to be a Democrat. I don't want to vote by mail as a Democrat. So you have two choices. You can change your party, which is another form. You can come into our office. You can download a form off our website, fill that out, sign it, we'll change your party, and then we'll have to send you another ballot. You would have to fill out another postcard if you want to vote by mail. The other choice, and this is choice number 2, is you simply come in and vote in person. I mean, we are going to be open on March 5th, of course, all day from 7 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. We also are going to have in-person early voting the week before the primary. So say you're not going to be around on March 5th. Well, we're going to be there the whole week of that last week of February, from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon. We're going to do the early voting in Town Hall. So we'll have registrars there, we'll have Kendra and I there for any questions. If you want to change your party at that time, you can. You can change your political party up until 10 days before the election, so that there's a deadline on there to change your party. After that point, you can't. Just the way it is. So, now if you come and vote in person, we would love to have you come. We'd love to see you. So if you vote in person, as you probably already know, our polls are downstairs in the town hall, and we would check you in, and the person is going to ask you which, if you are unenrolled, they're going to ask you which ballot you want. They're not going to ask you what party you are, they're going to ask you which ballot you want. So you're not going to say, well, I want the blue one or the purple one. You're going to say, okay, I want the libertarian ballot. So that's the one you get. You go check off the boxes, run it through the ballot box, and you're done. And get one of those I voted stickers. So that actually, you know, even though we offer vote by mail, you're not required to vote by mail. It costs the town money every time somebody requests a ballot by mail. Right now it's around 90 cents per ballot. And Kendra's going to show you what we send out.
You will have a ballot of your choice. You will get your absentee or early voting affidavit. This is where you're going to sign it. You're going to put your ballot in this envelope and then put it back into the white envelope to send it back to the town hall.
It's kind of disheartening when we have all these instructions and we go on election day and we start opening up the envelopes, because we can't open them up prior to election day, and we see loose ballots in an envelope. Those are disqualified.
They're not good because why?
Because there's no signature, there's no affidavit.
Ballot and put it in this envelope.
Because somebody could vote twice.
Sign it, seal it, and mail it back on this one.
And we make it easy because we're going to put your name, address in a sticker on that envelope. So all you have to do is fill out the ballot, sign it, and then put the ballot inside. That's it. So we try to make it as easy as possible. And you know, it's just a matter of, if people are used to doing this, then it works like a charm. And we have a number of election workers who come in every year and they work with our folks. But we like to address the questions ahead of time. And that's why I'm here today, and that's why Kendra's here today, is we want to get out in front of everyone and just let them know, okay, an election's coming up. We're actually going to have 4 big elections this year. March 5th, we're going to have another one, the town election, May 21st, right? Have town meeting. Then we have the primary on September 3rd. And we have the general election on November 5th. So it's a big year for elections, and you're going to see it. I mean, if you watch the news, you see it already, that there's a lot of discussion about what's going to happen in 2024. So we're just, again, at a local level, we're trying to make sure that everyone has the accessibility, can vote either in person, at home, vote by mail. You know, even if you have a spouse or a person that you take care of that is disabled, you can help them vote. You just have to sign on the line underneath it that you assisted them in voting. So that's also an option for anyone who's blind, anyone who is, has a disease that makes their handwriting too shaky. That's also there. So, yes, I've got a question.
Did you say the primary September?
Yeah,
Which primary is that? The state?
the state primary,
State primary.
yes,
So I have a question. If you are a member of a party
yes.
and you go through the process of changing to another party for the primary,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean you have to vote that same way for the general election, which you changed, or do you have to change again?
Well, when it comes to the general election, we're talking November, there'll only be one ballot. So there isn't any party choice. But to back it up, if you switch your party for March, then that's the ballot that you're going to also get for September, unless you switch back. Yes. Yeah, so that's a great question.
I prefer to vote in person. And
Thank you.
the voting early. So I like the voting early, but I've generally gotten a vote by mail card, but I prefer to go in. So if I don't, so what if I decide that I want to vote by mail? What's my last day? Or I know there's a different process if I get the vote by mail card and I go in to do it early.
So if you choose to vote early, you can't vote by mail.
Right.
So you can't vote twice, only once. If you get a mail-in ballot, so you've requested a ballot, and then you've said, oh, gee, I'm going to vote in person. What we're going to check you in, and it's going to indicate, because we keep track of all of this, we have a poll pad, which is basically an iPad, and it's going to say on the poll pad that we have sent you a ballot. And we're going to ask you to destroy that ballot that you have at your house and not bring it in to, not try to deposit it. Because if you show up on March 5th and you've got a ballot that we've mailed to you, we're going to ask you to go back upstairs and put it in the ballot box outside, because that's where it belongs. We do not accept them at the polls.
What is the last date then to request a mail-in ballot?
It is 5 days before every election.
The 27th.
27th for this one, February 27th.
So
Yeah, we have to receive it by 5 p.m. on February 27th.
Okay, so I'd have to get it.
Yeah. And we try to make sure that anyone who's listening or anyone who's going to watch this later, if you're in Florida, please send in your cards early, because we know how difficult it is between the mail service in Florida and the mail service up here, getting all of those ballots across the country, because everybody's doing this at the same time. March 5th is known across the country as Super Tuesday, because there are, I think, 17 states, between 14 and 17 states, that all have their election on the same day. So not all of them have mail-in ballots, but many of them do. So the Postal Service is inundated with ballots upon ballots. There's 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. They all have mail-in ballots. So if you can imagine the workload that comes in as a postal worker that week before March 5th, it's amazing. And we thank them every time. We actually go over and try to bring them cookies and things, just so that keep their spirits up.
I just wanted to, but you have a box outside, or that,
Yeah,
like the mailbox, outside, so the mail-in ballot can be just placed right in town hall.
yes, yes.
That's having some experience, a little bit suspicious of sometimes getting in the mail,
Yeah, so if you are leery about putting it in the U.S. Post, with the U.S. Postal Service, you can feel free to drive up to Town Hall 24/7. That ballot box is open and you can put your ballot in there. But at 8 o'clock at night on March 5th, that ballot box will be emptied and locked. After that time and date, it's over. The election's over. We do not accept any other ballots after that date, after that time. So everything gets counted after 8 p.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any other questions? And it doesn't have to be related to March. It could be what's going on for the rest of the year, changing your parties, changing your, anyone who's interested in becoming a poll worker. We're always asking for folks to either volunteer or we'll pay you. We pay $15 an hour if you would like to become a poll worker. So, yeah. Hi there.
I've always been independent or unenrolled, but can you be a poll worker? Because I understand you have to be affiliated with a party. Is
Oh,
that
no,
true?
that's not true at all.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
What are the jobs of a poll worker? What does a poll worker do?
We have many jobs. So we have the people who check you in, the people that hand you a ballot. We have the people that handle the early ballots, so that's a little bit separate. We have, of course, the warden who is, that's kind of a step up. He's in charge of the election, and then we have the ballot box folks, men or women, we don't discriminate, who will stand there and make sure that the ballots don't get jammed or overflowed or anything like that. So we have typically, and then at the end of the night at 8 o'clock, when we close the polls, we have folks who come in and they help us separate the ballots. At every primary, we have to separate them by party, and we have to look for write-ins. That's a big job, because if somebody puts Charlie Baker on the ballot for president, he's not running. So his name we have to record it, but it doesn't count. So, we need to understand, and unfortunately all of that's done by hand. So it's a big job, but thankfully we have a lot of people who are willing to come in at 8 o'clock and help us with all of that. And then we have to pack all the ballots into boxes at the end of every night and seal them. We run tapes so that for me, I have to report the results on our website, report the results to the Associated Press, to local reporters. So there's a lot of jobs. It's a long day for Kendra and I. It starts around 6 in the morning and ends around 11 at night. So, thank you again.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Great.